There are a lot of things I would like to change in the perspective. But number one, we basically at a time whereby depending on one thing won't really help you. Growing up, I was privileged to be exposed to a school whereby I was able to learn English and isiZulu all intensively at the same time. That's why my writing, I am so fluent in English as well, and I'm also fluent in isiZulu. So basically, in the school, that's where it all began, the writing process. I remember my first audience basically was a crowd of 1,800 students. I was nervous. It was the first time. But then that was the beginning of it all, and I realized from that day, you can do this. You hardly get anything unless you stand up and try put together the connections, the people, the ideas, try implement, get the funds, do this, do that. So what I can tell people is that in this day and age, it's more of identifying yourself in terms of what are you good at. We are all good at more than one thing. That's a given. You just have to find it. And once you find it, you try to measure it. You grow it, and in that process, it's basically a way out of poverty. So I was into academics as well, but then this art thing kept on stealing me bit by bit. And even now, I'm here in university, and I'm not doing a course in art as such. I'm basically doing an applied science degree. Up until now, it's just that. It's academics, my science, and then it's art. I'm also a photographer, take snaps. Okay, what inspires my poetry? It's people, it's nature, it's life. So all those things are just one package. So you find that when things happen, I'm a very spiritual person. So I tend to have this thing of listening to nature as such, in inverted commas. It simply means that I pay attention to what's going on, and I just try to go deeper, and read more between the lines of what is going on. And then I get a better sense of understanding about things and try to write about them, and just speak my mind and emotion, I had a lot of projects up on the line this year, and a lot of ideas I wanted to implement. But then when COVID came through, I realized, it's gone. It's gone. There was no way to try to put together resources or anything. There were no gatherings, no place to go out and perform to people, And it was only just academics, but even that too, we had to go online. So we were just confined in our little corners. It gave me a different perspective of life, basically. There are some writings that came through during that time, not specifically for COVID-19, but they were inspired by the situation, so they inflicted these different emotions, So those writings, some of them are not ready to be published or to be given to people, probably next year, But then yes, it did have a shift in how I work, basically. A lot of things came as an inspiration, so many poems came through in my small confinement. So I can just tell people to hope for the better, because next year is the hour. Yeah. So when this came through, SIRE, there was like a jump up opportunity for me to be like, okay, this is my opportunity to go and spit some fire. I've been silent for all this time, so let's just go and work. There was an opportunity to work, basically. First of all, it was like, okay, let's go and work. The location, where is it? I didn't know that location, So when I got there, I was looking at the place, it's all empty. And we were told, this is the place you're going to use. I'm like, what? But then creativity comes anywhere, anyhow. So we were able to just create something from there, It was a bit challenging to try to think of how things should be, how I want this to happen, how will I tie my work with this environment, how should I look, But then it all came together, I remember I was thinking, my attire, what am I going to do? I'm just going to be myself or what? And then The place just looked more like a prison cell, you know. And I thought of the work I have on these lands, and I can wear an overall. It's blue. I stand for something, basically standing for the working class, standing for the man who's out there, you know, on the streets, suffering, working hard, you know, trying to provide for his family, even though the system is suppressing him. Basically, that was the thought behind. So when the production was going on, seeing all the equipment, I was convinced it's like, say our the old-fashioned way of being taught: go to school, study, finish studying, get a job, go out there, you work. Yeah, it's a way out of poverty, but then now you cannot really depend on that. You gotta find your own grounds, you gotta be creative, you gotta try create your own connections, start up your own thing, you know, that you can push yourself so that you don't become dependent on anyone or anything. Because it's so hard to get a job. It's so hard to get a job. And especially for a creative.